I'm gonna be honest, guys. We don't necessarily need this colorway, but it's a very good colorway. Bam! The Jordan 3 Midnight Navy set to release on December 16th for a retail price point of $200. Not $210, fortunately. Even though they be pushing us with the $210s and stuff, this one's gonna be coming in at the $200 price point. And we know that the Midnight Navy, the colorway itself, is not a new colorway for Jordan brand. We recently had the Jordan 6 Midnight Navy, which was a OG colorway, brought back now retro. And this Midnight Navy and this Jordan 3, it looks a lot similar to what we've seen recently with the Jordan 3 Wizards. Now, it's a little bit more darker, we'll say that, and it's kind of paying that tribute once again to the Georgetown colorway. There was a Georgetown 3 that released back in 2021. Now there is this one coming out in 2023. Now, Nike has not stated, this is a Georgetown 3, but you can see obviously that there is some color resemblance on this pair compared to the Georgetown 3 that came out a couple years back, which was more just slopped on, like all the upper was of that navy, where this one is white with the very similar colors of that Georgetown navy on the midsole. The actual box itself reads white/midnight navy, size 8.5. It comes in that, I guess you could say, the new Jordan 3 box. We've seen this a lot, even dates back to that cool gray 3 that we got a little while back. We see this more and more now happening with the Jordan 3. Now, these were actually supposed to be like the first Jordan that released in 2024, but since then it's been pushed up, now releasing on the 16th. And I gotta say, man, this quality on this Jordan is very, very nice. It's a very nice overall leather, especially on this very nice tumbled leather, I would say, going on throughout the whole entire shoe, and specifically on that toe box. You might be able to see a little bit here and there. You got some slight widow's peaks, nothing major, nothing crazy, specifically on the tongue as well as on the toe box. And the toe box sits very, very low with the elephant print. But the elephant print is different. It's not the typical elephant print that we are used to on Jordan 3s. This one, in my opinion, is a little bit more lighter as far as the debossing goes. It's not as dark and deep, and it's not that much of it. It just seems like there's a little bit less of the print going on the whole entire print of the shoe. But we also see that the elephant print is slightly darker, a more darker gray than your typical Jordan 3. Now, there is not always a consistency when it deals with the Jordan 3, so there might be some, darker debossing on one shoe than there is on the other, but I do see some slight consistency. It seems like there is a little bit more though printing on this one compared to the other one, but there does seem to be consistency of how thick it is for the most part. But side by side, there is some clear differences as far as the amount of print, in my opinion. I mean, this one, it doesn't look that bad. It looks pretty consistent, but you can see that there's a little bit more going on this one compared to this one. Let's spin it around. Same here. This one has a little bit more than this one. It's a little bit less, it's faint. But with that being said, that's just how the elephant print is at the end of the day. No elephant print is the same on any shoe out there. It's a pattern that's made and it's cut, and every single elephant print is different. It goes for the same for the Jordan 7 tongue. I believe, I think the Jordan 8s, that little side panel, those are all the same, but there's a couple of other Jordans out there that have that uniqueness to each and every shoe that is made. And these are releasing in 9 more days, and currently right now are sitting a little bit above the retail price point. Now, that's pretty typical for a shoe that has not yet released, to see that type of, a little bit above, not below. So as days go on, more and more we'll have to see if that price drops or if it maintains. Typically speaking, whenever a shoe is sitting at that above the retail price point, that means that more than likely it might be a shoe that sells out. And being sold out, being a little bit harder to get. Jordan 3s, though, for the most part, have been a little bit hit or miss. I would say close and similar to what we've seen with the Jordan 1s throughout this entire year. But I would say that there's been way more Jordan 1s releasing, so there's been way more Jordan 1s that have sat. And once again, a shoe sitting is not a bad representation of if the shoe is good or not. It's more so a representation of whether you can buy it or not the day come a release, or if it's a shoe that you might want to sit and wait for it to go on sale. The Jordan 3 Off Noir that released a couple weeks back, they're about to go on sale right now on various sites. I think they're actually 20% off on SoulPlay right now in sizes and with free shipping. So keep your eyes on this release in general, but this being this colorway, I think it will do fairly well. The Jordan 3 Wizards did very well. So for that reasoning, these might do, for the most part, they might move. It might take a day or two, or who knows, it could sell out instantly. At the end of the day, when it comes to me, whether you should just jump up and go buy a shoe instantly, I'm not always good at the market and the forecast. I'll be honest, I've made some bad calls. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But I am here to let you know whether a shoe is good or not, or at least give you my opinion whether I think it's a good or not shoe. And me personally, I think this is a pretty good shoe. The quality, the craftsmanship, the colorway, it's nice. Now me, I'm not gonna cop it because I have this type of colorway already enough in the collection. That white and that midnight navy. I have a midnight navy 6. These look a lot like Flints. I have the Jordan 3 True Blues that's slightly lighter. I did have the Wizards, no longer have those. And I think it's a very good shoe overall, but there is so many more options coming out nowadays that you just don't necessarily need to cop every single sneaker. And $200, the economy, I get it. I get it, y'all, at the end of the day. But I do think it's a good shoe. I think that it will do fairly well in the market overall, and people will, you know, there'll be people that like it. It does have that fire red 3 type of color, you know, patterning. Basically, what I mean is fire red 3, but then swapped out for midnight navy color hue. So this would be red, of course. This would be red, but no, midnight navy. So real nice overall. And as stated, this was initially supposed to be releasing on January 13th, but now being pushed forward to December 16th. I think though, overall, a very solid shoe. You know, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this one down below. It's one of those, like, I wouldn't say this is necessarily a filler, but it's a shoe that it's gonna come and go. You know, like come 2024, we're not even gonna be thinking about this one anymore. No pun intended. But nice shoe. If you like it, don't take no, you know, don't think I'm coming after you. But I will say that the leather used is a very solid buttery leather. Like I think it's a very good leather used, in my opinion. When I'm feeling on this thing, it feels good. Feeling real good. Smells good too. That Chinese glue it hit, man. God damn. Yeah. But let me know you guys' thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Is this a cop or not? I would like to know. You know, the Jordan 3, in my opinion, always been a good shoe in my heart. At one point, the Jordan 3 was one of the best out there. Now it's kind of been sitting in the shadows for the most part. The game in general has been kind of in the shadows for the most part, but good solid color. Jordan, not Nike Air on the back, keep that in mind. And good overall craftsmanship at the end of the day. If you want to see a review on this, let me know. Comment down below in the comment section. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace.